Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to our next session. I hope those who have followed my previous last week's session on marriage as a major life event. So, this is like a continuation of it, as I mentioned previously. Look at it like a process, a stepwise process. Even though life doesn't go that way, this is mainly for you to have some understanding of the different course or the steps that happen at different levels in a marriage relationship. So today we'll focus mainly on what is being married is all about. So from the choosing a partner to identifying the differences in them, mainly choosing a complementary partner to identifying the differences and the frustrations one go through trying to look for similarities, and then moving on to consolidating or accepting or making these differences or trying to learn from each other is where we stopped in our previous session. So let's look at what follows here. We'll give more thought on two aspects today. One is the courtship, very shortly, and main focus will look at what happens to these differences, this struggle to become independent versus dependency between intimate relationship or couple relationship. So courtship is the time, whether we look at it as a love marriage or an arranged marriage. Courtship is the time where couple have looked at a partner and then taken a kind of more or less a decision to move on with a long-term relationship, probably. I'm talking about more long-term relationships, so we are not really looking at a kind of dating kind of a picture. Here, once you are committed to the partner and then want to move on ahead, establishing a marital relationship is looked at more from the courtship perspective in this particular aspect. So here both the partners are more or less busy trying to find the similarities, unaware of the differences. In spite of choosing a completely different partner, they are more a kind of in a kind of illusion that things are going to be kind of heavenly, and it's more like a magnetic process that binds them together, that thinking that they are made for each other. This is where the courtship starts. And what I mean to say is mainly the positive aspects of one's characteristics are being exposed here, so that the other partner feels more comfortable to sail through forward. So this also happens unconsciously to some extent, but most of the time when you are unaware of not fully known about your partner that you have chosen, so you want to give the impression of the best partner. So this is what happens in the courtship. So coming to the next level, which we are going to look at from a deeper and much more clear perspectives. So this is where the kind of struggle that the couple go through in terms of once they figure out that whatever the differences that they are having are actually becoming the stumbling blocks for their internal development. Though to some extent they are able to function, taking care of the as a viable functional unit to do the responsibilities of the outer world, the same differences starts becoming creating more internal frustrations and starts disturbing the harmony of the couple in this particular stage. So the questions of is it a right choice made, or where is the romance that where is the partner that I have chosen, and the image that one has developed about the partner in the courtship starts becoming much more diluted, and then and you start looking at it as more and more complex unfolding. So here we are looking at how these differences that the couple identified them to be, as how they are taken forward. Like I briefly mentioned in the previous session, that as the couple move on with the different stages, as they go through the different stages, which I am going to shortly go into details with, they start making these changes in terms of trying to learn a bit from each other. Like we have mentioned a couple of examples in our previous session again. So I keep referring to the previous session. As I said, it is going to be like a continuation or a process rather than a kind of independent concepts. So kindly keep a track of it as you are trying to understand. If required, go back to the previous session before you actually try to re-look at or understand what I am explaining in this particular video. So here the differences in terms of, like we have taken 2 or 3 examples. The one who is a little bit on the less active side physically is finding more attractive towards a person who is kind of sedentary, and a person who is more very neat and very kind of meticulous is more attracted towards someone who is not very meticulous about. A practical person is more attracted towards a fantasizing person. So here the seductive beauty of the partner will become a kind of starts looking more from the perspective of wasting time on unnecessarily on the physical appearance, or the silence on the partner. Any partner might look at it more like an unwillingness to discuss the issues and so on. So here this is where the friction starts coming into picture. So here the person starts looking at it more from a kind of being at a little bit disillusioned, as I said, and then trying to relook at the choice, but with no choice. Here I want you to look at a little bit here to make it a small kind of understanding. Like I said about the courtship, not much about, but here looking at the struggle towards becoming independent versus dependency. As the couple go through this struggle, there are 3 phases that one we need to look at, and this particular phase is many more years. It might take very long years. So there are 3 roads that here we are looking at. The normal course that is followed, as I briefly started mentioning just now, is as they start imbibing each other's differences, they start growing towards being more self-sufficient individuals. How that is accomplished, we'll look at it. And then the other 2 roads are a little diverse from the main road, that is separation and moving on to accepting the differences more in terms of a dependency created. Not it is more a self-sufficiency, but accepting each other's dependency, continuing the relationship, but more from the dependency perspective. So I will look into this first, and then we'll move on to these additional sideways. So how this self-sufficiency, how a person, they start acting, or whatever the role that they are good at. So they start each other's better half. So this is what people might be referring when they say that she is my better half or he is my better half. So they are actually functioning as each other's half in their day-to-day life, but then with all the cost of the internal struggle that is happening, coming with their differences. So the couple who are moving towards more a kind of development in a positive perspective, they are moving more towards making compromises, a lot of time one partner will have to do some sacrifice, who is more willing towards seeing a different way of themselves, and then sometimes there might be a kind of this process is not very smooth, as I repeatedly mentioned it. So it comes with all its emotional cost and pain. So there are sacrifices to be made, there are compromises to be made, and then but then here we are more looking at completing the role as a kind of able to take the sloppy one, might become a little bit more of active, or the physically active one more try to become a little bit less active, and so on. So the roles are slowly started to, partners start learning from each other, and they start looking at from the perspective of more in terms of making compromises, more in terms of trying to look at it more from the perspective of yeah. So what happens mainly in this struggle to differentiate is, as the fights starts cropping up, there is a fear instilled in the couple as to the relationship, as how they have moved on with the relationship is one point, and then they also at the same time start realizing the importance of the other partner in their relationship, and the role that the other partner is playing, and the value is added by the other partner. This also is one part, but it comes with all the limitations as well. The initial blaming might become more accepting responsibility, self-responsibility, and then more in terms of moving or accepting towards seeing the better half as also a kind of helping them in order to understand their own self or their own limitations or weaknesses. So like how one gives more time for the work as well as for the career. So commitment and the time that is taken is very, very important. So it's not just about the relationship goes on, just you are married. So you need to give that time and commitment the way that you give to other important aspects of your life. So this is something that we are looking at it as a hard-won achievement once you move on to this self-sufficient, all-rounded individual with compromises made, with the understanding and respecting the partner, the role that the partner is playing, and over a period of time there is more clarity over these disagreements. Does that mean that there are no more fights? No, the fights are more painful in this process, and then because they go more deeper into the roots of the problem. Most often the fights are not about what they are, they seem to be, but it is touching the more the core of one's differences is what creating the friction. So once the couple are able to kind of go through this process, which takes many, many years, so they start slowly functioning as self-sufficient and with high gratification about the relationship. And the first time they start seeing that they are able to still evolve in their relationship with mutual respect, and the kind of contribution that each partner made to the other to grow. So there's a lot of goodwill that is coming into picture in terms of satisfaction added, and as well as they start functioning more independent as individuals here, and then it is more a kind of a harmonious and self-sufficient movement towards completion. And once the couple take this road, it's more an irreversible. So what I am trying to kind of summarize is that these differences that are creating friction are looked at from a more developmental perspective, and slowly the couple starts becoming aware of it. In spite of these frictions, they are able to see the importance of each person in the development of the other partner, and then the moving on happens. So the couples who approach for marital therapy generally are more at a level where they want to enhance the relationship or bring in some quality in the relationship, but not so much in the kind of struggles, because the struggles are something that they start figuring out on their own. So generally what happens here is that the kind of opinion is that generally the complementary, as I said, the complementary or the completeness of relation happens because most of the time the choosing happens between two people who are at a same emotional and developmental level. Generally a person who is too immature doesn't look for someone who is mature, doesn't choose someone who is very mature. They are not very complementary. Someone who is very perfect in psychological health does not look for someone who is psychological ill. These kind of are little incompatibility, where unless the information is hidden and then it is looked at more not being aware before the marriage kind of situations, where the other dynamics come into picture. We look at them a little later in our future sessions. So what I mean to say is that the couple that who choose each other are at a same developmental level but in the opposite direction. So this is what I want to bring in to highlight about the couples who move on with a maturity and self-sufficient, well-developed relationship in the marriage. But it's not all. So there are other two roads that we have to also look at. There is a separation that might come in at two levels, when the struggle in the couple is happening at a initial stage of the marriage. In the first couple of years of marriage, some of the couples unable to handle these internal frustrations or internal conflicts that are coming through these differences might try to kind of at a very unacknowledged level, they might try to go into separation at an early stage, where a lot of blaming and anger and frustration happens here, and the involvement of other family members or parents might come into picture. Generally it is emotionally very costly, and it leaves a bitter kind of relationship which happens at the beginning couple of years, in the beginning years of marriage. So separation can also happen at a little later years, where they are able to actually understand the differences and also able to see that these differences are more in terms of unacceptable. They are able to see the difference, but they are not accepting that, and then they try to pull each other towards the other person. Like the person who is more practical want the person who is a dreamer to kind of pushing towards more being practical, while the dreamer might try to assert and pull back and trying to be in their characteristic position. So all this struggle might over a years, where the couple might try to kind of, in spite of seeing the differences, unable to kind of take it in, and then where with acknowledgement of these differences, the couple might kind of try to separate. Here they are more or less able to function, they are able to see their shortcomings as their own contribution in the relationship failure, and they are unwilling or unacknowledged about not able to make the changes, or they also try to invest their energies into career or some other aspects where they are not very keen on investing much time and energy and effort on straightening their relationship. This occurs at a little later point, after a little more years the separation process happens. So, coming to the third and the final thing, where accepting these differences. So there is a slight difference between someone taking a kind of road where they turn to be a self-sufficient individual and someone accepting their differences. So the couples who accept their differences are slightly different in a way that they're able to see that the other partner is needed in order to complete the kind of functions as a unit, and then this creates more frustration, this creates a kind of a dependency. The more a partner is dependent on the other, it creates a little bit of burden on the relationship, and then a lot of time the fights are more bitter, and then the other partner understands that without this better half, or whatever the half that they perceive, they can't function smoothly, and this dependency is also bringing in a lot of insecurity in the couples, and then they are often worried about the partner's well-being more for their own sake. This is the kind of road where the partners are more stressed out, because they are completely dependent on the other partner for their functioning, and more of the illness or health issues or worry about the death or loss of the partner. All these insecurities keep cropping up because of the dependency that it happens in this particular kind. So here the person is able to acknowledge the difference, but unable to kind of use those in terms of trying to be flexible and trying to kind of learn from these things. So here where the differences remain, but then they are able to continue as a functional unit for the outside world. So sometimes here in these particular the fights are more about when the other person is unable to complete their responsibilities, the fights become more bitter, and then if the other person is not contributing their half of the responsibilities or the whatever that is required to complete the relationship, is creating conflict. Sometimes children are involved into these fights, and then it is more like a kind of insecure kind of a relationship. So the separation as well as the dependency, accepting the differences, more these two can be reversible. At any point of time the couples can decide to join back and then try to move on with the self-sufficiency, whereas the road that has chosen to move on is irreversible. So this completes our topic today. As a final word, what I wanted to say is that most of the couples who approach us for family counseling or marital counseling are mainly those couples who are spending a lot of years where they are creating more of a dependency in their relationship and then unable to handle the relationship. Yes, there are people who also at a separation at a later stage want to give it a try, acknowledging their differences. They might come into a kind of therapy, but then as long as they are willing to work through these knots that we will look at in our next session, the trouble knots we call them. So it's not the knots that you tie for a kind of auspicious ceremony of your marriage, but these are the trouble knots we will look at in our next Saturday's session. Thank you all. Have a good day.